It's also a reflection of themselves. So not to say it's not the right person, because most people feel that way. It's also about the inner work,
Yes.
right? So like, I'm judging others of what is acceptable for them to say or not. It's because I'm also judging myself. on what's acceptable to say or not.
Exactly.
So it's not necessarily 100% that's the wrong person.
Mhm.
It's more about, do I feel free enough to say that? It's all a mirror to oneself.
Well, if you don't feel free enough to say that, there's a very good chance the person you spend the most time with also doesn't feel safe to say that. So that's the interesting dynamic, is that you almost serve as a literal mirror to the person that you're with. And that if I'm suppressing, they're probably suppressing. And there are cases where two people who are suppressing to the same amount can both commit to the inner work very deeply and rise and grow together. I mean, that's amazing and a really beautiful thing to witness. But I think a lot of the times what I've seen happen from people I talk to on the walks, from relationships on TV, from all of the travels of my life, is that when you have two parties in a relationship suppressing, one party decides to do the work, the other party isn't ready to do that work. And then there is a gap there that either like reveals that this is just not going to work long term, because now I don't want to suppress myself, but you still want to live in suppression land, right? So it's when you do the inner work kind of before a relationship, or you commit to being in a relationship with someone who also values personal growth and doing not just personal growth, because I'm not talking about like Huberman Lab podcast on I'm going to, make my body super healthy. I'm not talking about biohacking.
Talk about the inner work.
I'm talking about like really looking at your soul. Like that's a different level of personal growth that a lot of people, I mean, if you're even interested in that, like I really commend you and want to give you a big hug, because you doing that work to create an easier reality for yourself is creating an easier reality for everyone who comes into contact with you. And you are giving people such a profound gift by doing that work. So thank you. But not everyone in this lifetime feels called to that work. And I think that's the one thing that I really want to impart in this moment, is that if you are someone who knows deep in your soul, as you're hearing me say this, I want to go there. I know I'm going to cry. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be completely tumultuous in my relationship with myself for a little while, but I want to go there. I want to look at myself. Please do your due diligence on the person that you're in a relationship with, on whether or not they value that. And I'm not just talking surface level personal growth. I'm talking they want to get in there in the trenches of the dark night of the soul for themselves, not for you, but like for themselves. Because that is when you will create this dynamic where if you are both suppressing to the same level, because I do really feel like we grow at the same exact pace at this point, because we've done so much work before we met each other, and now and we're just like off to the races.
Synced.
But we're so synced. Like some of the things that we've been working through recently, one of them being this podcast. Cam, a couple months ago, was working on putting himself on camera more. And before he started doing that, I was doing that. So I had these meditation videos that I was recording every single day, and I did 31 of them. And I would meditate for 30 minutes and then record myself speaking. And that was my way of really shifting past a lot of insecurities I had about being seen on camera. And when I told Cam about this project, literally the day we met on President's Day, he was like, I'm going to do that too. And then he started doing Solitude 60 videos, which was basically the same thing, funny enough. So he started working on his version of being seen, his insecurities of being seen. And what I'm basically saying is that the person you're with is a mirror to wherever you are in your growth journey. And what you should really double click on, if you haven't already had this conversation, is what does growth mean to you? What is your relationship to personal growth? Where do you want to go? And if that's not synced, it's time to go inward, baby.
100%. That is the number one value you must have with the other person. It doesn't matter your hobbies as much. It doesn't matter, your career trajectory, whatever it may be. It's how willing are they to grow?
Yeah.
And it's the lack of that alignment that I believe causes the far majority of divorces, the far majority of marital problems to begin with. But if you're both committed and you both are willing to help each other in a loving way, you have the recipe for a very successful marriage, a very successful life together. That's the same with romantic relationships, but also for friends. If that takes place, you'll create forever friends and forever husbands and wives. Preferably one, not husbands and wives, but you know what I mean. Exactly.
Thank you so much for watching that clip. I hope you enjoyed it and felt a little love or joy sprinkled into your day. If you want to watch another one, you can go here, here, or somewhere all around here. I hope you have a great day. Bye. Love you.